Hey everyone, it's Jason from EskimoTV.net, and today I'm going to be reviewing Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. If you prefer to read my review, you can check out EskimoTV.net and take a look at that. But let's go ahead and talk about this movie. So, Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul was a rare film that I despised throughout the entire first act, believing it was a really rocky premise that seemed sloppily edited. There was times where captions would appear in mid-conversation, and it was very distracting to pay attention to what the caption was saying and what some characters were saying. But fortunately, this film did in fact pull through with a fair, unique, insightful look at themes ranging from church leadership hypocrisy, the pressure of one's spouse, and homosexuality. Honk for Jesus is destined to spark controversy amongst audiences, and you and your family, should you think it's best to go see this, will have something to talk about when leaving the theater. In the aftermath of a huge scandal, Trinity Childs, played by Regina Hall, the first lady of a prominent Southern Baptist megachurch, attempts to help her pastor slash husband, Lee Curtis Childs, who's played by Sterling K. Brown, rebuild their congregation. And that synopsis is from IMDb. I thought it summed it up nicely. No need to invent the wheel. So, my favorite film from last year, 2021, was The Eyes of Tammy Faye. That was my number one film on my top 10 list. That shares similar themes with this film regarding church leadership hypocrisy. However, what makes Tammy Faye a far superior film is that film highlighted the beautiful, positive qualities of Tammy's life, and you truly fall in love with her character, realizing that the story the media portrayed was not entirely true regarding Tammy, and it's more of a tragedy when you see that all the stuff that she has to go through. What makes Honk for Jesus difficult to endure is that you will have no character to cheer for. Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown do a magnificent job at portraying sanctimonious leaders who want nothing more than to put on a show for people, and their characters are not likable. They act the characters out very well, but the characters are written in an unlikable fashion. They might make you laugh and might make you chuckle throughout the course of the movie, but they are not characters that are going to have any admirable qualities to them. This is not a film you're going to leave and feel any sort of empathy for these lead roles. Both leaders are extremely frustrated when they learn that a neighboring church is also opening the same week as they are. It doesn't do good for their image or for us to see them getting really jealous and upset that this neighboring church has similar plans to them as far as reopening. Regina Hall's character has a scene where she belittles Brown's character's heartfelt sermon because it's not moving enough and it lacks the wow factor that she's looking for. And so I thought that that was really ugly of both of these characters throughout different parts of the movie. There's a scene where both start singing an explicit rap song. This mockumentary writes over the top, crude pastoral leaders that, depending on the audience member you are, will have you laughing due to its character's shrewd absurdity and or make you disgusted at the lives of these characters, the choices that they choose to make. And I felt the latter with some clever jokes getting a laugh out of me. But for the most part, I was like, oh, these people are awful. Like, who is this movie for? I found it hard initially to get behind this, but why should you go see this? I do think that the film encompasses appalling insight just to be informed as to what's going on. It has good insight as to how some professed leaders live. That hypocrisy will either be informative to audiences who don't see what sometimes goes on in our religious communities, or it might fully resonate with a niche audience that is involved within a church that's maybe living a double life or knows someone who is slash was a religious public figure that has lived a double life. and wants to kind of see that portrayed on film. Additionally, the comedy's decent. There's one scene where Regina's cursing out a character who is harassing her, and she follows up with "God bless," and that got a good laugh from me as well as the audience that I was seeing this with. From the unique insight not often seen in film regarding church leadership, the hit or miss comedy, and the fact that the story is upbeat and told in 1 hour and 42 minutes, I would recommend going to check out Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, especially if the premise intrigues you and you can stomach seeing these public religious figures doing things you would not expect them to be doing. I'm going to give Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul a B-. If you have not seen The Eyes of Tammy Faye, I highly recommend that you go check that out, especially if this is the kind of premise that caught your attention or piqued your interest. That film, like I said earlier in my review, is executed way better and was emotionally more compelling, and probably won't get under your skin, but more so emotionally disturb you. I was it really cut to the heart, that film. So that's just a film I highly recommend if you haven't had the chance to see it. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. You can also consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like what you saw, you can also check out my website, EskimoTV.net, where you will find reviews from myself as well as other authors. Thank you so much for checking this review out. Once again, my name is Jason Escamilla from EskimoTV.net.